Hey Dolly friends, it's me, Holly. Welcome to my channel. And today I'm going to be giving you a summary of my experience and the projects I did for Winterfest 2025, which was a weekend event hosted by Dolls Rescued. It's all online, live chats and different projects we did and different contests. So I thought I'm going to walk through with you all the different contests that I participated in, show you some footage from some of those, and just give you a nice little summary of everything so you guys can see the experience and get excited for next year. So the first contest, and these aren't all necessarily in order, I am showing them to you in order of the amount of footage I have. Yeah, they're not in order. So it's based on the amount of footage I have for each, the longest one being the last one. So the first thing I entered, and actually was the first, was the crochet hat and scarf contest. This is the hat and scarf that I crocheted on Florence here. This is a Dauntless and Tea, by the way. I made a really small scarf. I wanted to put a little button here, so it's kind of more of just a little throat, almost choker scarf. I did just a regular crochet style. I think I did a single stitch, double, I don't know. I learned how to make a hat in high school, and that's about as far as I ever got in my skill set. But so that's Florence in the hat and scarf. I did not place in that contest, but that's okay. It's just really fun to be able to participate. And then the next contest that I'm going to cover is Ember. She's still in her Christmas dress, but really it's just green. And that particular contest, they sent in the goodie bags. So Marta and Dara sent in the goodie bags a surprise item. So it was this turtle, which I have painted. And we all knew we were going to get this turtle, but we didn't know exactly what it was for until we got our goodie bags. And so the goodie boxes, and the instructions were to do whatever we wanted with the turtles, whether we paint them, whatever, and then pose them in a picture, whether it's with the doll or whatever. So I chose to have Ember be my model, and they went outside. I'll show you those pictures. And I took a few different photos. Actually, I took several, and I submitted 2 for the contest, and there were some really great entries. So many fun ones, from super realistic turtles to Emma did a galaxy one with glow-in-the-dark stars, and there was this really cute one that had flowers on it. Then it was sitting in the beach. Just some really fun, clever uses for these little turtles. So that was really fun to see. I'm about to paint my little turtle here for the bonus turtle photo contest. My husband went ahead and primed him for me. I'm going to use some Ancient Stone acrylic paint by War Paints Fanatics. It's by Army Painter. I'm first going to dry brush, and then once the dry brushing has dried and I'm happy with how it looks, I'm going to go over it with an Army Painter Speed Paint, which is a thinner paint. Those of you who are painting minis for Warhammer or other kind of games, this is kind of like a wash, I guess you could say. Anyway, the thing that's fun about these speed paints is it's thinner, and it's gonna go into these crevices and fill these lines darker. And then because I'll be dry brushing the top, those areas that are light will have a lighter green. So the goal is the turtle will have many shades of green in just these 2 steps. We'll see. I've never actually done this process. Some of the tools I have, of course, is my mat, my turtle. I have a little makeshift wet palette here so my paints don't dry too fast. I don't even know that I need it. It's just a lid with paper towel and parchment. I have a variety of cheapy brushes here I'll be using for the dry brushing. A cup of water here. Let's hope it works out. And then I'll be taking a photo of the little guy probably with Ember, who is currently in a green dress. So that'll look really cute together. But anyway, stay tuned for that fun. So the trick with dry brushing is you get paint on your brush, and then you wipe it on paper towel or something, a whole bunch, until there's hardly any paint left. So this is not yet ready. So then when I brush it onto my subject, just trace amounts get on it, and it's really just the highlights, the high parts of the model that will be getting these. It's kind of a quick way to get highlights in on an object without having to go in and hand line all of the highlights. So we'll see how this works. So the next contest I'll be sharing is the photo contest with the ice skates. So I don't have the ice skates on. This is not everything to everyone. It's a Chaos Head. You most likely know all of this, but she is my celestial doll. I named her Natea, and I had converted these boots into ice skates, and the contest was to take a picture somehow including the ice skates in the photo. And I did, and I'll be showing you, I did 3 different settings for my photos. One was with some like Christmas lights, and it just didn't like them. And then I tried without Christmas lights and natural light, didn't like those. And then I finally took her outside with a giant mirror and used the reflection of the sky to be like the ice. I don't know. I'm just coming up with ideas here. I will be showing you guys the final photos for each session, the ones I was thinking about entering. And then I actually wound up entering, the final one was the reflection of the mirror. She was laying on it. I named it Reflection Falling is Only a New Perspective is what I called it. But they didn't include, it didn't have titles in the entries, but that's what I called it. I thought it was very, I don't know, poetic or something. Natea here, and she's wearing the ice skates that I made with the 3D printed skates and boots, and I'm somehow gonna pose her on this backdrop and I'll use my nice camera in hopes to blend the background so it looks kind of like Aurora Borealis. And then I have a mirror there with some sheer ivory material to kind of look like a frosted ice rink kind of out in the middle of the night. They're very yellow lights, and they're LED, and so they're flickering like crazy, and it's really awful. Okay, so I'm gonna get it set up, and I'm gonna get my camera out and take some fancy photos, and you guys will get to see the results. Picture, honey. Come on. Get in my picture. You're gonna slip on the ice. And then the final entry, I'm not going to show you right now. I'm going to let you watch the footage of that, but it was a custom doll head and painted head on a body in a full look. So my husband printed some 3D heads for me off of Danny Chu's Culture Japan site, the Smart Doll site, and I cleaned it up, and you'll get to see the whole process of going from this to a full doll and how that looked, how that worked. There was some tragedy that occurred during the process, and I'll show you how I coped with that and overcame that, and actually I won. My custom doll won the contest, so that was really exciting. So stay tuned for that good footage, and I'll see you back in just a second. My 3D head that we printed out of resin. She's currently got some eyes in there that are wonky, but I just put them in there because it was a little less creepy than nothing. I am about to clean it up. There's a lot of hit marks and things. This is a cap. It's a little too big, but the wig I'm using is also a little big, so I don't mind. And there's lots of pits inside. I'm actually not going to sand a lot of these pits because I find that it helps the wig grip. My focus right now is going to be just cleaning up around the eyes. You can see there's some stuff there. Just get it cleaned up, prepped for, and wash it off, wash any residue off. Even though we've washed them and cleaned them, when we cure them, I have my sample pictures. I'm going to attempt the artwork of the Gray Prowess. I have some close-ups of her eye makeup, the general face, her lip makeup, and then the Prowess and Coco had a good picture of the eyebrow art, so I know how to do that. I also have these images on my computer, which I can zoom in a little better to get a really good close-up of the actual lines of the eyes. It might change completely, I have a few ideas, but this is what I'm gonna try, and we'll see how it goes. So for now, it's cleanup time. Oh, so I've taken the eyes out. They were on the eye cradle. It's a little creepy. I have a lot of sticky tack on here. I doubt I need this much, but that's just what I did. And then here's the inside of the head. You can see all those little tiny particles and pips, or whatever you want to call them, are from the supports. When you print, 3D print, you have to have supports so it holds the model in place as it does each layer. So we had it where it was in the head. But you can see externally, there's still some here. We had these here, and there was some on the ear. And again, like I said, some of them I'm just not gonna worry about because it's gonna help keep the wig in place. It's not gonna show. And my primary focus is getting the head painted for the contest, for Winterfest contest. We'll see if I get it done. So here it is unsanded, and we'll see if there's any difference when I come back. So here are the 3 different sandpapers I'm going to use. The higher the number, the finer the grain. So you usually want to work your way up. So I'm going to start with a 1200. Hopefully it is coarse enough to be effective, but not so coarse that it scratches my face. And then I'll work my way up. I'll do a test on the back, of course, though, to see how that looks before I commit to the front. Stay tuned. Oh, and I also have a protective mask because whenever you're sanding any kind of material, really, you should wear a mask, but especially resin, you don't want to have that in your lungs. Well, I have half of the eye makeup stenciled in. This is just the sanded head. There's no primer on it. I decided to stencil it in with pencil and see how that looked. It erases really easily on the resin. And then I'm gonna try to pencil it in on the other side. And then I'm gonna try the Mr. Super Clear to see if it gets this sanded pattern off. If it doesn't, then I'm gonna have to prime it in a different color and then start over. But I thought I'd give it a try. At least it's practice with the pencil since I'll be using a watercolor. So I used pencil to mark the purple, gray, and then the black. And I don't know if you can see the detailed lines in there. The hard part is the symmetry. That is where I truly struggle. So I keep thinking that her nose looks a little pointier than the regular Smart Doll. So I'm gonna try to sand it a little bit less. So if you can see here in the picture, her nose just looks a little smaller. Could just be the angle, but I'm gonna maybe round it out just a little bit. So it's a little less pointy. Well, unfortunately, Mr. Super Clear did its usual and left this nasty, weird stuff on parts of the face. And now, so I have to sand that off and reseal it. And then I nicked the eye because there was a support that I thought was gone, that you can see it. And anyway, so I'm gonna sand that down and seal it again. Very sad thing occurred last night. I was trying different wigs on the head I've been painting, and her head rolled off the headstand I was using, fell to the ground, and completely broke. So she is cracked, and I was upset. Actually, you know, I wasn't super upset. I was upset, yes. But I'll admit the crack across her forehead is just, if you had to pick a place for the face to crack, I feel like there's something to be done with this. And so I'm going to improvise. And I've ordered some gold hot glue. And I'm gonna attempt to do the kitsugi method, which is Japanese art style, I guess you can say, where you take broken pottery and you mend the cracks with special adhesive and 24 karat gold. So then the cracks of the piece become part of the art and make it look more beautiful. And I know there actually are some kitsugi smart dolls that have been available in the past with the gold paint on it. But in this case, she really literally will be needing this gold to be whole again. But I was thinking, just because that's creepy, let me get her eyeball covered up here. But then I have these eyeballs, speaking of eyes, that I got from AliExpress. I had ordered them thinking I might use them instead of her little metallic shiny eyes here, which I'm really liking how they look with the outfit I've picked for her. But I initially wanted to do like a purple, and these were just random, like 5 random pairs. So I don't even know, but I thought a purple could be pretty since I'm trying to mimic the Gray Prowess design, but I'm not doing the Prowess whiskers. I couldn't find a metallic nail art that I liked that would mimic that well enough. So not doing that. And I was going to be finishing her mouth yesterday, but then she fell. So that sort of changed those plans. But I might be doing some teeth, and I have an idea how to do the teeth to look as perfect as they do. I don't know if it's going to work. Anyway, all that to be said, I have to now get all of the hot glue out of my glue gun so I can get the gold in there. And I thought, what a perfect time. I have these white boots here that I bought for Winterfest. The Winterfest is right around the corner. By the time you guys see this video, it'll be over. But got these white boots and I have my skates. So I'm gonna use the hot glue I need to get out of this to get those boots done, get her glued together, and I'm gonna show you some of these eyes and hope we can get her all finished in time. So here are all the eyes that I got. There are some dragon eyes, which are kind of fun. So we have a kind of a dark charcoal on top and then light gray on the bottom. 2 different blues with 2 different size pupils, and then this purple. So if I were to switch it, I would probably do the purple. All right, well, stay tuned. I'll show you how things look when we get the glue done. You guys saw the footage of my custom, and here she is. Her eyes look a little crossed right now. I don't know if you remember the fingerless glove I got a while back that's shredded. Well, I had used this as a scarf. I cut it in half and used it as a scarf to hide the neck. She's borrowing Astrid's body right now. And so I covered that up so you wouldn't see the skin tone. And then I have the black gloves to cover up, change the hands. And because the body suit that she's wearing looks like a robot, it really fit. And then her eyes actually change. I got these eyes, I thought they looked cool, but the changing of the colors really can be a little, I don't know, it throws me off, so I don't tend to use them, but they were perfect for this outfit. I have the harness on, she has the hat, but to show you the break, So she's wearing the wolf cut wig I got from AliExpress. I'm gonna pop that off and show you. So the break happened as you saw in the footage. It was pretty tragic, but I used that gold hot glue I showed you and I never followed up. I used, after that, it just didn't look right. And I happened to have some really tiny gold leaf, like not real gold, but gold leaf for nail art. And so when the hot glue was still warm, I just smashed that on and brushed it off like you would normal gold leaf. And that's how we got that look. I mean, in retrospect, I could have just glued it and made it look like a scar, or even just glued it and styled the hair in a way that covered it. But I really wanted to go with the kitsugi style that is very traditional. It's traditionally Japanese, and I thought that was fitting for Smart Doll. So anyway, that's what I came up with. And there she is. So all in all, I would say that Winterfest was great fun and I really enjoyed it, and it was so neat to be able to communicate and participate in events with other collectors over a whole weekend and chat. And Marna and Darren just poured 150%, 200% of themselves into this project. And you know, it had a few hiccups, but as anything new does. So I was neat to be kind of on the groundbreaking start of this whole thing. It was their first annual Winterfest, and I know they're planning on more. So if you're curious about more to come and details about it, definitely go check out Dolls Rescued. I know Instagram, people have been posting some of their photos, so go check those out. Thank you guys so much for watching and coming along with me for my Winterfest adventure. I hope you have yourselves a great week. Please like, comment, subscribe. Tell me your favorite entry that I put in. And if you participated, I'd love to know what your favorite was, what you did. That would be great to hear. We'll see you guys later, and we'll catch you in the next video. Bye.